This case is a little bit unusual in the sense that with in most criminal cases, when people commit crimes, they go scurrying off into the darkness. They're very difficult to find and don't want to talk once we do find them. This case has been just the opposite. Many of the organizers have gone on TV, have acknowledged their behavior and their conduct, and we certainly appreciate them for doing that because it's made our job a lot easier. So it's a little bit unusual in that regard. So far, what we have done, and we just authorized criminal charges against 3 people yesterday. Those people are Brittany Lee Johnson from Cedar Springs. She just turned 20 this year. A James Michael Taylor, who was the owner of the property. We have him listed as Blanchard. We believe he has fled to California. And we also issued charges against Daniel Edward Misner of Howard City. Misner, M-I-S-N-E-R. All 3 of these, he's 20 years old as well. All 3 of these folks have been charged with the same charge at this point in time. The charge is called furnishing a place for consideration. The complaint alleges that these 3 persons did maintain, operate, or otherwise furnish a premises or place, to wit, a structure and land located at 4708 70th Avenue, which was not licensed under the Liquor Control Code, where another person or persons could engage in the drinking of alcoholic liquor for consideration, which is defined by law as any fee, including a fee for parking, contrary to Michigan law. These offenses are 1-year felony offenses, and they carry a maximum fine of $1,000. Our primary goal, as I mentioned, Ms. Johnson was arrested last night. We are still seeking Mr. Misner. We believe Mr. Taylor has fled to California, and we will be seeking his arrest and transport back to Michigan as well. Again, our goal so far is to stop this activity from occurring in the future. And one of the things that I guess in terms of options or tools that law enforcement has to stem this kind of thing from happening again, we have in our arsenal and in our things that we can do what's called a remedy under the public nuisance statute. It is a civil remedy. Now this is in addition to charging people criminally. But these types of parties under Michigan law meet the definition of a public nuisance. As such, there are many remedies that are available, civil remedies that are available, not just for the organizers and to quell their behavior, but for the party goers as well. And one thing that the public nuisance statute allows us to do is that persons, party goers, who are driving to these parties, taking young men and women to these parties and contributing to this nuisance. Under the public nuisance statute, there are situations where we can seize and forfeit their automobiles. Now that's not to say we're going to do that, but that is a tool and an option that we have to stem what we hope is an isolated incident, but if it is going to be a continuing activity, this is an option that we have. Take and forfeit cars of the people that are going to these parties. It's a remedy we'd rather not resort to, but it's a tool that law enforcement has and is willing to utilize should this behavior continue in the future. I have been in contact with not only the Michigan State Police, but also the Prosecuting Attorneys Association of Michigan, area prosecutors, and everybody's kind of on board here. We're all hoping this doesn't happen, but we're all prepared to, if it does happen, and what our response is going to be. So we're looking at not only criminal charges against the organizers and the people that go, but potential civil remedies as well under the public nuisance statute, which could include seizing automobiles and forfeiting them forever. So that's what I have so far, and I'll turn it over to Sheriff Purcell to see if he has anything to add.
The investigation into the criminal sexual conduct report that we took is still currently under investigation. Like I said to many of you before, due to the victim's ability to recall due to her intoxication level at the time, has made things very difficult in this investigation. So. And I'm open for questions, as long as Pete is too.
Sure.
What about the minors involved, like the 14-year-old that overdosed? What's the status of that?
In terms of, she's
Any charges
doing
against
well.
Anybody, you know, any minor possession? I mean, are they facing any consequences?
Yes. You know, first of all, we are, again, the initial response was public safety and getting those overdosed the care and treatment they needed. And we are in the process of interviewing those persons right now. Our goal right now, our main focus is on the organizers. We're not too concerned with minor possession at this point in time. Our main goal is to stop the organizers and to stop this from happening.
There has been some steps to, by counties within our district, that these potential other parties have been known to, or may be happening, to take some proactive steps to one, not allow as many people to the location, and some other steps that I'm probably not comment on right now. We had people monitoring the social media sites, and when we initially did approach the officers on scene, we're hearing the crowd chanting negative comments about the police, for one. And the people monitoring social media advised that the talk on social media was that they were going to riot and or take on the police. I don't regret a thing, any decision that I made that night. I explained earlier, a lot of variables go into a decision like that. And one of the main variables was the fact that you had kids from all over the state of Michigan at that party. Most of these kids probably don't even know where Mecosta County is to this day. They just filed GPS directions how to get there. You put that age of kids, if we were to go in, the majority of them may have fled the area on foot. You put them into a greater risk of danger by doing that, I believe, being in uncharted territory that they have no idea where they're at. The possibilities of them crossing roads on secondary roads and being struck by vehicles. When you keep them contained into an area and allow them to leave peacefully, I believe that was more of a public safety concern, and that's one of the big reasons why I made the decision I did. There are steps being taken to be more proactive. You know, I can't comment on the ways certain agencies are watching social media, but I'm pretty confident that there will be some proactive measures taken prior to the start of the parties.
That would defeat the purpose of the measures if we were to tell you, you know, we're here, we're trying to explain to people that this is criminal activity that they're engaging in. And we've filed some charges against 3 people now, and you know, law enforcement and prosecuting attorneys, again, as the gentleman pointed out, it's somewhat of an unusual case, but it's real important that people know this is criminal activity. People know about some possible outcomes should they go and attend these parties, even if they're not organizing them. That is, that they could have their car taken away, they could themselves get in trouble, potentially criminally, for attending these. So all those things are proactive in the sense that, you know, a lot of people, I think one of the reasons that these folks were so candid for you is because maybe they didn't know it was wrong in the first place. I have trouble believing that, but something tells me maybe that was part of their mindset. We were just having fun. What's the problem? And I think now, again, ignorance of the law, as you know, is no excuse, but I think with our response and what we're explaining to the folks out there what could happen in the future, that's part of our proactive response. As far as the investigative things, how we're going to identify these things, how we're going to react to them, that's something we really can't count on.